The abduction of Jayme Closs. A girl kidnapped after witnessing the unimaginable, then rescues herself. On the night of October 15, 2018, the small town of Barron, Wisconsin, was asleep. Streetlights hummed softly. Homes sat quiet and dark. Nothing suggested that within minutes, a crime would unfold that would shock the entire nation. By sunrise, 2 people would be dead. A 13-year-old girl would be gone. And a mystery would grip the country for 88 agonizing days. Her name was Jayme Closs. And this is the story of how she survived what should have been impossible. Jayme Closs was a normal 13-year-old. She lived with her parents, James and Denise Closs, in a modest home just outside Barron. She was quiet, shy, and close to her family. Friends described her as gentle and soft-spoken. Her parents were protective and loving. Their home was calm, predictable, safe, or so it seemed. No one in the Closs family had enemies. No ongoing disputes. No warning signs. That's what made what happened next so terrifying. Just after midnight, a car pulled up near the Closs home. Inside was a 21-year-old man named Jake Patterson. He was not a family acquaintance, not a neighbor, not someone Jayme had ever spoken to. He had seen her once months earlier while driving past her school bus stop. That moment sparked an obsession. On October 15th, he acted. Patterson approached the house armed and prepared. He forced his way inside, shattering the illusion of safety in seconds. James Closs, Jayme's dad, confronted him. James was shot. Denise Closs, her mom, ran toward Jayme's bedroom, trying desperately to protect her daughter. Denise was shot. Both parents died at the scene. Jayme, hiding in the bathroom, heard everything. She was 13 years old, and she watched her world end. After killing Jayme's parents, Patterson dragged Jayme from the house. She was forced into the trunk of his car. As police cars passed by, responding to the 911 call Denise had managed to make before dying, Jayme lay silent in the trunk, afraid that any sound would get her killed. Against all odds, Patterson drove away unnoticed. Jayme Closs had vanished. By morning, the crime scene was crawling with investigators. The brutality shocked even seasoned officers. There was no note, no ransom demand, no obvious suspect. Jayme's disappearance triggered an Amber Alert. Volunteers searched fields, woods, and abandoned buildings. The FBI joined the case. For weeks, tips poured in from across the country. None led to Jayme. The fear was unbearable. Was she alive? Was she being moved? Would she ever be found? As the investigation continued, the man responsible remained invisible. Jake Patterson had no criminal record. He lived alone, had recently quit his job, and had meticulously planned the abduction. After the crime, he shaved his head, altered his appearance, and avoided all media. He brought Jayme to a remote cabin in rural Wisconsin, owned by his father. There, she would remain hidden. Jayme was held for 88 days. She was isolated, controlled, threatened. Patterson told her that if she tried to escape or alert anyone, he would kill her. When he left the cabin, he instructed her to hide under his bed. He tried to erase her sense of time, her sense of hope. But Jayme did something extraordinary. She observed. She listened. She waited. She survived. Despite massive efforts, the investigation hit walls. No witnesses. No surveillance footage. No clear suspect. The randomness of the crime made it harder. This was not a family dispute. Not a custody case. Not a known offender. It was the nightmare scenario. A stranger crime. As weeks passed, hope began to fade. But Jayme had not given up. On January 10, 2019, everything changed. Patterson left the cabin to run errands. This time, he didn't lock Jayme under the bed. Jayme saw her chance. She put on shoes that didn't belong to her, wrapped herself in clothes, and ran. Barefoot in the snow, she made it to a nearby road. A woman walking her dog saw her. Jayme approached her and said words that would soon echo around the world. "I'm Jayme Closs." The woman immediately called the police. Jayme was safe. Police traced Jayme's escape back to the cabin. Jake Patterson was arrested without resistance. He confessed almost immediately. The nightmare was over. Jayme was reunited with relatives. The nation exhaled. Patterson was charged with 2 counts of first-degree intentional homicide, 1 count of kidnapping. In May 2019, he pleaded guilty. He was sentenced to life in prison without parole, plus additional years for kidnapping. There was no plea deal. No reduced sentence. Justice was swift, but the scars remained. Jayme did not speak publicly for a long time. When she did, her message was clear. She wanted privacy. She wanted healing. She wanted to move forward. Those close to her described her as strong, resilient, and remarkably grounded. She did not let her captor define her. She survived. The abduction of Jayme Closs changed how people talk about stranger crimes. It revealed how obsession can form without contact, how random violence truly can be, how survival is possible even in unimaginable circumstances. It also reminded the world of something powerful. Victims are not weak. Survivors are not broken. And hope can exist even in the darkest places. Jayme Closs did not choose what happened to her, but she chose to survive. She chose courage. She chose patience. She chose the moment when fear no longer controlled her. Her story is not just one of tragedy. It is a story of resilience. And sometimes, the most powerful endings are written by those who refuse to disappear. This was the abduction of Jayme Closs. If you want more true crime stories that focus on understanding, survival, and accountability, not exploitation, subscribe to MysteryGrid. Because every story is a puzzle, and some puzzles remind us of what strength truly looks like.